You are now rocking with the hostess with the mostest. This is your girl, the natural hair gamer, Junae. And on This Week in Gaming, we're going to be talking about Infiltration, Telltale, Fortnite boobs, a little bit of DBZ, and how Trump is affecting gaming. So it's not alleged. FGC competitive player Infiltration, sponsored by Panda Global, is convicted of beating his now ex-wife. She took him to court and she won. That is great, but it's pretty hard to hold him accountable since South Korea does have some super serious defamation laws that they stand by. Meaning if she talks about it and gets the word out there, he could countersue, she could end up being in jail, and pretty much all her hard work has gone to waste. Panda Global did say that they were going to do some investigations about this in a tweet earlier this month, but there hasn't been any follow-up. I did reach out to Infiltration and Panda Global, but I didn't get any response back. So we'll see if he has been suspended or if his traveling privileges will be revoked by South Korea, since he does have those charges. A positive thing I can say is that the FGC, most of the FGC has not been standing behind him on this, and other people have been making jokes or putting up memes asking stuff like, what's the frame rate on a backhand, isn't super funny because domestic violence isn't funny whatsoever. But in support of his ex-wife, I will not be posting any of the case numbers or anything like that, just to make sure that, she's pretty much being protected, and to stand with her and saying domestic violence is wrong. This news day is just getting worse. Telltale is pretty much laying off everybody, but as of right now, they still have about 25 employees left. Over the past couple years, Telltale has been accused of mismanagement of people and funds. They even got that lawsuit from a former CEO, Kevin Berner of Telltale, which they tried to cover up and say, it was just like jealousy or something about being in the industry, when it definitely went deeper than that. Since the spike video games in 2012, there's been a massive hire and then firing people. Like, once the game is done, you're free to go. And they had first a layoff of 90 people. But everyone on Twitter has been trying to come together and pretty much support each other, whether that's telling stories from when they're working on Batman and a bat got caught in the office, or talking about some things that happened during the development stages of Borderlands, or to creating the hashtag of Telltale Jobs, where it's encasing those memories and also helping Telltale ex-employees find jobs. The community has really been there for them, and you have some people who are really pushing for it, so that's definitely a positive thing. The worst thing is that Telltale is trying to siphon the devs to get them to finish these games for free, because people have expressed this outrage of, what do you mean I'm not getting The Walking Dead? I paid for the season pass. When is it coming out? And no one's really sure when episode 3 and 4 are coming out, but Telltale's trying to get the devs to do it for free and not pay them. So, I would say maybe don't worry about the game and worry more about the management of the people. But it turns out Netflix gave Telltale some money to do a Minecraft game, and they may even try to fund them for a Stranger Things game. The main issue behind this is that why Telltale let their people go quicker than Pharisees is because there's no more money. There's no more money from Smilegate. There's no more money for AMC. And the same day that they were told they're not being funded is the same day they told these people that they had to go. So no one's really sure when Walking Dead episode 3 and 4 are coming out, or if they're coming out at all, but definitely look up the hashtag Telltale Games, read some of the tweets of the ex-employees and how they were being treated and the new things that they're getting into. Fortnite boobs. And when I say Fortnite boobs, I mean Fortnite boobs. There's no anecdotes, no anything funny like that. Fortnite had a patch come through for season 6, and it was supposed to be about pets and the new outfits and everything like that. But the only thing everyone was focused on is the jiggle of some Fortnite boobies. Streamer Agony was enjoying the patch and getting to see all the different outfits, like the cowgirl outfit, and he was messing with the emotes of the other stolen Fortnite dances, and he came across this one dance that created quite a ruckus. During the jubilation dances, one of the main characters, Boobs, actually jiggle and move in kind of like a odd fashion, but it's not super odd. And the only reason why this is super interesting is because to learn about how boobs actually move in video games. I know places like Ninja Gaiden where you'd shake the controller and then the boobs would move. So some devs actually put more time into figuring out how to make breasts look natural, and other devs, kind of like DOA, kind of just have them move a little bit separately. Even early ages of like Street Fighter, Chun-Li would move a little bit funny. And this part is interesting because I found a how breasts actually work article on Kotaku, and I'll have that link in the description below. But it turns out that sometimes the breasts are animated a bit differently, or they're connected to like the clavicle. And when you're animating things, each part is a bone, and then if it's connected to something else, it'll move how that moves. So that's why some of them look funny. And in most cases, the way that they animate breasts is a case by case. So sometimes they put a little bit extra work into it, sometimes they don't. It's just kind of interesting that Fortnite had this issue and they didn't know. And yeah, it was one dance. At first I was like, is it multiple dances? No, it's just one dance that, one guy found. And it was just kind of interesting as a whole. But they patched it out. Like same night when they found out, they did this update, and then the jubilation dance was corrected. A spokesperson for Epic Games did apologize and said they'd fix it immediately, which is exactly what they did. It was just interesting to learn about that glitch and then to read how other devs take on the challenge of animating breasts. Dragonball FighterZ is now on Switch, and plus you got 2 new characters that came out. There was Cooler and Android 17. I want to see how many people are actually going to have their fight stick hooked up to a Switch. I was in a Dragon Ball FighterZ group, and I've definitely been talking about it ever since I got my Switch, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see if people are actually going to do it. It's just a couple of connectors that you need. But if you're doing that, please take pictures and send it to me. I want to see exactly what it looks like and what happens. Yo, y'all president is straight up effing around with the gaming community at this point. The tariffs that he put on the goods from China, which pretty much means we gotta make up the money for China making goods and sending it over here. It's pretty much just an extra tax added on. That started on Monday, September 24th, and it's at 10% right now. This affects graphics cards. So not graphics cards that are already pre-built into the PCs, but graphics card that you would buy to replace inside of your PC. And the 2 companies that are working to keep the cost down are AMD and Nvidia, which is great, but at the same time, can they really do it? Can they work with the manufacturers and the people and still have costs be stay at the same rate, or are we going to see that inflation? And the tariffs can go from 10%, which is at right now, all the way up to 25% by January. So if you thought you were going to get a positive deal during like Black Friday, definitely think again. But I've already felt like Trump has went too far, but now he's like messing with the gaming stuff, and like y'all got to get your mans, pretty much. Just get your mans. Thank you for rocking with the hostess with the mostest. Shout out to Lance, who is my editor. You are awesome, and I am forever grateful. Everyone go follow him. He actually just had a year anniversary of doing stuff on his podcast and through Gifted Sounds and everything like that. And until next time, have an awesome weekend, day, good live stream, all that stuff. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube, obviously, and Twitch, plus Black Girl Gamers, and everywhere else.